Okay, guys, good evening to all of you today. Today is the 5th of April 2026, Sunday special. Now, I'm actually in Ho Chi Minh City right now doing live session. So you should know me very well. The only time when I call you guys to come in is because of something very, very important to share with you. And today is very important because it has to do with the oil price, okay? All right, good evening to you. Hi. All right, so the thing is this, okay? Will there be a possibility to see US crude oil reaching $150 by December 2026? Now, from the beginning of last year, okay, I have been telling people that if you want, you can start to accumulate some crude oil in your portfolio. And as it comes to August, I was very adamant. In fact, I was telling people around me, if you want to buy some stock, you can buy OXY because our Warren Buffett have been buying OXY, right? This US company. And then in early January, when the OXY price came down quite a fair bit, some of you have contacted me to ask me whether they can cut the position. I say, don't cut. I say, stick with it. It will turn out fine. And come February, oh my God, OXY started to move up because of oil price going up. And then subsequently, we saw OXY now at $64. Back then, it was only at $30. So I'm very happy for those who believe in me. And now the great moment has come is that can we see a higher, crazier number? Okay. Now I'll explain to you why I say so. Now let me explain to you that. But before we go into that, disclaimer apply as usual. Please do your risk management. It's very, very important for that. Yeah. Okay. So let's get into the fundamental. Why am I so adamant on this? Now, first of all, you must understand what is happening in the world. Now, Donald Trump says the rescued U.S. airman, which is a pilot, is seriously wounded, threatened to strike Iran power plants and bridges. So based on this right now, we do not have a number for the U.S. crude oil, what will happen tomorrow. But I got this feeling that we may see 120 at the beginning bell, 120, yeah? And we all know that US has been very, very positive, very confident with their airstrikes and their airplanes and their so-called what we call it as their armory to ensure that their pilots are safe. But now we can see a very distinct problem now for the US. And as I said before, when you have the US soldiers being hurt, that's where it get very personal and that things will get very crazy. So the thing is this, based on the weekend data right now, the Dow Jones is down by 209 points. Honestly, I don't think this should be the number because I felt that it can go lower. Okay, I think we'll see 46,000 tested again. I'll tell you more with more time later on. Yeah. Okay, and based on what we are seeing right now, you can see that the gold price is down by $19.80. So again, let me explain to you why is it possible for the gold price to be coming down when you have a war in Iran. Because now the problem is this is a war whereby the crude oil price is being held up at Hormuz, rather, and what happened is that the inflation is going through the roof. So that gives no reason for the Federal Reserve to cut interest rate because the Federal Reserve cannot cut interest rate when the inflation is high. This one is a strict Federal Reserve policy that it will not change for anybody. All right. So if the interest rate can go down, that means that the dollar will strengthen. And when the dollar strengthens, you will have your gold price coming down. So that is the problem here. Okay. So last few days when the war was beginning to like going off, looking at it will be over soon because Donald Trump says that he will get it done in 2 to 3 weeks time. The gold price went up because the dollar actually came off. But now seems that this is not going to happen. So I'll talk about gold also later on after the crude oil price. So stay tuned with me. All right. It's very, very important. All right. Hit 136 people now. Wow. Okay. Take a picture for me, please. Thank you very much. All right. So we must understand this thing called Brent crude. Now, Brent crude is a major benchmark grade of light sweet crude. Now, light sweet crude doesn't mean it's sweet. It's just that it's a way that being what they call named. All right, it found from the North Sea and serving as a primary pricing standard for roughly 2/3 of the world international traded oil. Okay, so which means that whatever the price of Brent crude is, right, will give you a benchmark of the current situation. And now, oh my God, take a look, everybody. The Brent oil spot price for actual cargo has soared to $141, highest level since 2008 financial crisis. Okay, this is insanity. We are talking about now the slight sweet crude is still not there yet, but yet the Brent crude oil price, the cargo price, is already now at $141. So that's why it's very, very possible to see 120 tomorrow for the light sweet crude. So you can see that the demand is going to be reflected for the next 10 to 30 days. And definitely now many countries like Thailand and Malaysia, Indonesia, all are suggesting that we should really cut down the usage of crude oil because of the craziness of prices. So you can imagine now this is another big movement coming in. Oh, okay, on some noise. Okay. So this is going to be crazy. And the thing is this, now the analysts obviously say that it will go higher than whatever it has. Well, based on what we're seeing right now, it is very possible. So if US decide to go and bomb some of the infrastructure, it's going to kill this holding off. And then, of course, it will go much, much, much higher, okay? So the price was 32.23 higher than the Brent crude futures. All right, that means that the spot price go ahead of futures. Now, usually futures go above the spot price. Okay, what's this? Hey, what's that? Who is this? Come on, guys. There's no allowance of this advertisement here. Please remove. Okay, Susan, can you help me to kick this guy off? This is first time I'm seeing this on my channel. Remove this guy called what, Gold Trader. It's so sickening. Susan, I give you as the host. Can you remove this person away? Oh gosh, this guy. This is so bad.
Cal, make me co-host, I will do it for you.
Yeah. First time. Okay, idiots like this, really. Delete the messages away also, yeah. Okay, that's where you get a little bit popular. Okay. All right. So because of that itself, right now, you look at the UK Brent crude price. I managed to get this one here. Everyone take a look at the screen right now. Now, this is what happened. Okay, in 2008, that's where the Brent crude went all the way up, right? And after that, we saw the financial crisis. Okay. And now, again, back in the 2020, during the COVID price, we saw the same thing. So tomorrow, there's a very high chance we'll see the same thing happening. Okay. So that is where it go crazy because we are not even there yet. With the war is still ongoing and the price has already hit the all-time high level. So if we go past the 150, as we all know that during this period of time, the stock market really came off quite badly. So there's one particular country that will likely be hit very badly tomorrow. It'll be South Korea, Japan. These countries, they have a lot of what they call deals with this. This is going to be a very bad hit for them. And there should be some spillover effect over to the Asia market. So this one is quite crazy to happen. And of course, this will definitely affect the US crude oil that we are trading. So let's take a look at what the crude oil did previously. So the last time we saw crude oil shooting up to the high here, hit to a high of 119, right? So that's why on Friday, I called for a buy on crude oil. I was very confident because I know very well that when the market did this, let me show to you how I do that, yeah? So what happened was that you saw this very big candle, right? This big candle. So the MLP is somewhere around here. So when I saw that the market started to stay above the MLP, I know that this something big is going to happen. Now this is the advanced MLP used for PTP or this CMC level, yeah? Okay, and then when I saw that on Friday, the market basically covered all the KCB, so I know that it's very high chance the crude oil is going for it. So very good chance we'll see the crude oil Monday tomorrow will open about 120 and above. So I want to say two things here is very important. Number one is that do expect the gold price spread to open very big tomorrow. That means that the spread, I'm not talking about the gap up, gap down, yeah? I'm talking about spread. Spread means that the buy and the sell can gap up quite a fair bit. So take note of that. It is very, very possible. Now, one thing to note, you must understand for those who are using AIMS, you must understand that it's an A book broker. It follows the LP. And Monday morning itself, right, is usually where the spread goes very, very wide. It can go up to $25 spread for a short moment before coming back. Okay. Now you must understand the difference between B book and A book. A book itself, they really go with the market. B book, right, they contain the price to a certain range throughout the whole trading day. So the good part is that you don't get swing by the market. The bad part is that you may not get money later on. But that is again the upside and downside of a B book. Yeah. So for tomorrow traders, for gold traders, please be careful. The spread may open. So before you hit the market, I will give a suggestion to you, use limit price, okay? What the? Oh my God, these people really are. Dylan, continue to do what you do, yeah? This is the sad part. Okay, that's why we cannot give to the Disha, we cannot give to the open group chats. This is why it has this problem itself. Okay, you get these idiots coming in. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do something here. Let me see if I can do this one. Can I do a waiting room now at this point? I think cannot, right? We can block all the people. So they're just coming in just like that. Sorry, very disturbing. Yeah, the guy just keep on posting. Remove that person first before you delete. Okay, never mind. Anyway, guys, these are all the people who are trying to do a fast one on here. Just ignore them, okay? Don't be distracted by them. It does happen when you have people like this, very unethical. Yeah, okay. Let's continue here, guys. So that is the reason why I want you coming in, because that will definitely make the market very, very bad. Yeah. Okay, so now let's look at our crazy system and how we can take advantage of this. So first of all, you can see that the oil price, although on this particular day it came down more than $10, but the boys were buying very strongly here. And when I saw the base was supported by the big boys, I know that it's just a matter of time the market will cover the KCB, which you saw has happened. Okay, so now the very high chance the market is going to go for the stop loss of all these people. So that's why 120 is very possible. So the question you would ask me now will be, KEL, should we chase after the oil price? My personal thing is no, do not chase after the oil price unless you really want to take the risk. Because if all those who have remember this was a day whereby the oil price, let me bring to you, yeah. The oil price was here at 100. Right, it opens here, yeah, opens here, okay, then it shoot up to 119, which is like from $100 shifted to 119, right, up by $19. But the day itself ended here at about $85 or lower. I think it ended at about $85. Yes, that means from 119 it came all the way down to 85. $30 movement. I mean, this is insanity. Now, remember what was the reason? It was because the G7 came in. They said that they will come and support the market, right? But if you look carefully yourself, right, when the G7 came in back then, it did pull the oil price a bit lower. But if you remember the last few days when Donald Trump wants the allies to come in to support him, none of the allies came in. Because you must understand, it doesn't make sense to support Donald Trump right now, because everybody knows that the war will eventually end. And if anyone support Donald Trump right now, they will not be able to get the oil from the Iran later. So that's why no allies want to help Donald Trump. It's very, very clear. Okay, so that was the reason why when I saw this, how the market tried to sell on this news, but the boys for buying, I know that the market will still look to buy. Okay, so please don't chase. If you want to trade on this particular oil, what I suggest to you is very simple. You let it come down first, then you find an opener to go in. If you chase on the way up, then you must take profit very, very fast. Okay, so this is something very, very important. Yeah. Okay, so that is my view here for oil. So how about gold now? That's what you want to know, because I've been receiving a lot of people asking me about their expectation of my view on gold. Okay, so gold actually, right, is kind of like going to be hit tomorrow, because gold goes at 4677. On Monday, the gold will open up most likely, if you ask me, somewhere around 4650. That should be the gold opening price tomorrow, somewhere around there. Now, 4650, right, if you look carefully, is actually below the KCL, which is 4671. Okay, so that means that there will be some selling in the market. Now, do note the stacked diamond is also 4671. They share the same closing. So this will be the main driver on the main that resistance for tomorrow. Unless gold gap down and push past 4671, if not, I do expect the market to be more to the downside. But because now we have very important big support here, we have the MA 200 supporting at 4474. So of course, this level is at $200 away, so it's a far away support. Now we can see a very strong resistance here at MA30 at 4776. Okay, 4776. Last Friday, it went all the way up before pulling back down. Yeah. So take note, the MA200 is supporting the gold. The MA30 is resisting the gold. So now we put it in front first. Yeah. If there's going to be a pullback of gold because of whatever big selling in the market, when it goes to 4474, the MA200, I think it will be a very good time to buy some gold around here. I repeat, if gold price do come down to this level and stabilize, I think at this price, 4474 is a very good level to look to buy. Okay, got me? All right, so I think it could be a good one to buy. And then after that itself, it may go back to challenge the MA30. And of course, I will tell you guys in advance, if after that, if any time the market close above MA30 in the coming weeks or months, then this is going to propel gold to all the way to 5,200. I'm going to give you upfront first. That means that if gold can break above the MA30, which is about 4,700 plus, because it depends on the by the time you reach there, right, what could be the level, and then after that, the gold will go up all the way to 5,200. Now, why is that so? Because I have been doing some testing on the MA30, and I know that whenever MA30 get broken above it, it move by at least $50 upside. So that's why it is possible. Because you see, on Friday, the high was 4,800, right? Okay, then the MA30, if you look at it, was 4776. So when the market touched the MA30, couldn't go higher, it came down $50, right, easily. So that's why I said that if the thing goes up, and then $50, and if it goes more than that, we can go up as much as even $500. So that's why the MA30, watch out for this. If the market breaks above it, this is going to be a big one. There's a KCB right here. This KCB, let me take a look. This KCB is at 5005. So that means that if the market break the MA30, there is a 5005 KCB nearby. So this is about $200, $200 to $250 possible profit. So if you capture this run, you can make a lot of money from here itself. Yeah. So watch out for this KCB in the near term. Okay. All right. So that is the thing I want to share with you. Now, Dow Jones on Friday, obviously a problem here. We have the market going upwards, but the KSI is red in color. And in fact itself, the big boys already give us a bit of warning in advance. The KSI is the rate is actually much higher than the day before. So that again tells you that there is some form of selling pressure in the market. So if the markets go down, we're going to have this 45238 level. That is somewhere at the KCB. So that's about 1,100 points. I believe that there's a very high chance of a 1,000-point drop this coming week if Donald Trump do what he wants to do. It is what I feel that likely will be happening. And of course, when that happens, we do expect the rest of the market to also, rest of the thing to follow. So example, like the NASDAQ. Now, the NASDAQ has been trying to fight up its run recently. There's a lot of buying on Apple, buying on Microsoft shares because they went down quite a fair bit, Meta too. So I do suspect that the market will pull back to the KCL level at 23721, which is here. This was a very strong support happened the last 2 days, and every time the market touched a KCL, it actually rebounded. Now, dear all the KCL of our KCL technique is very, very good. Right, it's very, very good. If you actually use the KCL to trade, you do a back test, it's really accurate. If the market stays below the KCL, you just sell. If the market stays above the KCL, you buy. If it go below the KCL, you just sell. So this is a very good technique. I can tell you that pretty good. Of course, sometimes it may go sideways for a while, but eventually it will pay off. Yeah. So this is how I see it for KCL. And of course, last one to wrap it up is Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin, I have a very mixed view here. Now, Bitcoin, as you can see, that is still coming down, okay? There's no way it's going up at the moment. The boys have been buying relentlessly the last 6-7 days. So this comes an issue here. If the boys have been buying, but yet the Bitcoin can't go up, then what will happen if the KSI turn red? Now, if the KSI really turn red, then there's a very, very high chance that we will see a sell-off back to 62,000 again, okay? So now we are still okay. The market is holding up while the KSI is green. So which means that if it turns yellow and if it breaks the MA30, we can see a much higher level again. Maybe you see a 70,000 again after it breaks the MA30. But again, judging from what we're seeing right now, if the market failed to stay above, then we will see 62,000. Now, if the Bitcoin go down back to 62,000, obviously the NASDAQ will be hit by the market again. So it's a double whammy here. So watch out for this. This is going to be very, very important for all the traders here. Okay. So with that understanding, we have come to the end of today's sharing. I'll keep it light for this evening. So guys, crude oil, don't rush into the market, right? Don't rush. And then tomorrow morning, if my time permit, I will do a market talk in the morning. If I don't have today, whatever I share, please take note. Remember that what to do for tomorrow. So please don't chase after oil if it goes by 120. Gold price, if it comes down, you can look for buy. Dow Jones and NASDAQ likelihood will go down furthermore. Okay, and Bitcoin is at a very important level right now. If it stays below 65,000, then 62,000 should be next. If you hang above 67,500, then it goes back to 70,000. There's a bit of fight between the bulls and the bears for Bitcoin. Some feel that it's time to buy more Bitcoin because it's cheap right now, and some say that it's not a time to buy because the market will still sell more of the valuable for margin calls. Yeah. Okay, so that it will end the session. Thank you all for coming today. I really enjoyed myself and hope you guys will do well. Okay, for the CRAZII EA part itself, right? We will be sharing some key items later in the EA group chat. Okay, take care. Have a great day. This is Kel signing off. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody.